Hello everyone, and then welcome to the continuation of our previous lesson, which is the model viewer. Okay, so in our previous lesson, this was what we were able to do. Now, in this particular lesson, we want to actually make it have a card view, some shadows, and some padding and spacing margin. Okay, so that said, I'm going to split my screen. Then, let's start with our model viewer. So, we're going to look for a model viewer. Okay, here. So, model viewer. Then we are going to give it um, a border radius of 16 pixels, 16 px. Then it's not showing, but let's give it some shadow. Okay, so I'll paste this shadow here. Okay, so you can see we have some shadow effects. Okay, you can see this. Okay, we just need to give it some padding, and then everything should work well. Okay, so you might want to copy this code. So box hyphen shadow. I copied from the previous code I wrote. Okay, so RGB is so red, green, blue values, and then the alpha channel or opacity. So these are the values for this, and then some other values. Now let's work on some padding. So margin right, let me see, main container. Okay, so we'll give it a margin top. Okay, some spacing here. Okay, so margin top of let's use 60 px. Okay, so we have the space here. And then we'll give it a margin bottom. Okay, so margin bottom. There's a shortcut for writing this. Let's stick to this. So margin bottom of 70 px. So let's see. It's not showing now. It's not showing now, but you can see this is touching the base. Okay, so we want to give some spacing below. Then we'll give it margin left of let's use 20 px. Okay, so we have some margin here. Let's enlarge it and see. So you can see we have some margin here. Okay. Remember that's our main container. Then we'll do same for margin right. So I'm just going to copy this and then change here to right. Span of right. So we should have some margin at the right side. Oops, it's not taking effects. Okay, so now let's give some spacing here, so between the two models. Okay, so that what we are going to do is we can actually use a value called column gap, but that is going to um, cause some delays. So the best way for me or approach I would use is to just make sure I give um, a margin. So this container is going to be the right, which is our that's our first container. So this side is going to be the right side. So margin right, or better still, let me just copy this code. Then paste it here, and then change this value to 10. Okay, so you can see we have some spacing here. And I'm going to copy this same code, paste it in our second model. So for our second model, it's going to be what? The left. Okay, so margin left. Okay, so we just want a 20% value or 20 pixel value. Okay, so if we notice something, you can see we are having some space here, which shouldn't be so. This should cover everything. So I think it's something from the sizing of our model. Okay. So what we have to do is I'm going to comment this out. Okay, so we highlight it and then just hit Control and then a forward slash to comment it out. Okay, so you can see it's fixed. We don't have any space in there. Okay. So that's for the main container. We'll do that for it. Then let's see what we can do here. And basically that should be it for this particular code. All we can do is to check how responsive it would be. So let's see. Okay, so it's not responsive, meaning we would have to do some responsiveness in the next lesson. You can see why it's happening. But if we check for this one, okay, this one should be very responsive. Okay, so you can see how this is responsive. Then you can see it collapses or it breaks to the next line, or the next, or it cascades to the next. What's the name? Below its other model. Yeah. So you can look for this particular extension, okay, mobile simulator from in Chrome extension, and then you download it, and then you can use to check how responsive your project is going to look like. Let's check for, let me see, MacBook Pro. Okay, so it looks okay for this particular one. Let's try for this one, our main project, MacBook Pro. Okay, it doesn't look that great. Oops. Okay, so let's work on the responsiveness in the next lesson. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.